Hi everyone, good day. Welcome to the sixth topic of our course, or the IS 101, or the Fundamentals of Information Systems. Today, we will talk about electronic and mobile commerce. So before we dig in into our topic, or to our first topic, let us first have a review of what e-commerce is. So previously, we have talked about that e-commerce is the buying and selling of products and services through computer-mediated interactions over the internet. So we have the common e-commerce platforms that we use today, the Shopee, the Lazada, TikTok Shop. So look at the bigger picture. It uses technology to enhance organizational performance, whether by boosting profits or delivering products faster. So unlike before that we have to be physically there sa shop or store na gusto na to palitan, but this time we have this kind of platforms. So the key components of this e-commerce platform are the web or the network technology, electronic funds transfer or the EFT, and of course, this one is familiar with you, the SCM or the supply chain management, since we have discussed this na no sa atong previous topics. And lastly, we have the online transaction processing. Say, for example, we have a scenario when you order a pizza, which is a business to consumer relationship, the system that sends the order to the kitchen charges your card or your EFT or the electronic funds transfer, especially if connected na siya, no? So, mo-charge na siya automatically. And it manages the ingredients. So, kinsa man ang naga-manage ana, si SCM or the supply chain management. Kana siya tanan is all part of the larger e-commerce ecosystem. So daghan kayog involved. So dili lang gyud siya kanang ito makita nato physically na e-commerce is simple ra di ay so nga. So daghan day siya og mga involved or components nga naka-integrate sa iyaha. If you will think about it, it is an ecosystem. So it's electronic, it's digital, and network processing. Now let's talk about the International Organization for Standardization. So, by definition, it is defined as the e-commerce as a general term for the exchange of informational content and needs between enterprises and consumers. So somehow, mura siya og protocol in exchange of information contents between the enterprises and consumers. Okay, let's proceed to the Global Information Infrastructure Committee. So, unsa man pud ni siya? In the context of e-commerce, as an economic activity using electronic communication as a means by which people can publicize, purchase, and settle products and services with economic value. So, example, the e-commerce, nag-start gid siya in the year 1991, which has expanded to encompass the full range of activities within a sales cycle. Over time, ginatawag na siya og e-commerce or e-business. Okay, this time, let's proceed to the evolution of e-commerce. Although online shopping feels modern, the roots of e-commerce go back decades. It has begun with the EFT or the electronic funds transfer in the 1970s. So, taud-taud na po day siya no, 1970s pa nag-start ang EFT or electronic funds transfer by banks to exchange account information securely. In the 1980s, they bought a standardized EDI or what we call as the electronic data interchange. So, isa na siya sa pinaka-importante or pinaka-significant nga electronic commerce nga ginagamit today or ginagamit o gina-practice gapon up until today. So, the real breakthrough came in 1991 when the internet was open for commercial use. So, nanatay timeline diri ah. So, this is the timeline of e-commerce. So, in 1970, EFT was used by the banking industry. In 1984, EDI or the electronic data interchange um, became standardized through ASC X12, ensuring reliable transaction completion between companies. In 1992, CompuServe offers online retail products, giving people the first chance to buy things from their computers. And in 1994, Netscape launches, providing a simple browser to surf the internet and introducing secure sockets layer or what we commonly here as the SSL for safe online transactions. So in 1995, Amazon and eBay was launched. And in 1998, DSL, so muna itong gina-enjoy karon, or the Digital Subscriber Line, offers fast, always-on internet service in California, prompting increased online spending. In 1999, the worldwide retail internet spending reaches 20 billion. And in 2000, US government extends moratorium on the internet taxes until at least 2005. So what are the scope of e-commerce? So daghan siya og kana kung if you think about it, it extends well beyond the simple idea of buying and selling on the website. Napay other scopes, see e-commerce. So first, we have the marketing and sales. So some of the sellers or business owner use the search engine optimization or the SEO, targeted online advertisements and automated promotional campaigns instead of relying only on physical billboards. So before, wala pa kayo siya nauso, no? Mostly, ginagamit yun is physical billboards, flyers, and even kanang face-to-face campaign jud silang products. But today, since na-maximize naman ang technology, most of the business owners is opting to engine optimization. So, nanay advertisements, matingalan na lang kanang mag-scroll ka sa imong social media, na mo gawas nga mga advertisements out of nowhere. So, kana sila, ginabayaran na sila sa mga business owners. And of course, we have the supply chain support. So, e-commerce platforms streamline how companies source raw materials, manage suppliers, and coordinate with some subcontractors. So before, siguro ginaadtuan gyud nila physically ang ilahang supplier. But now that we have the supply chain support, automated na ang ordering system. So katong example sa inyo last time, katong nag-discuss ta nga for example si SM na siya specific nga supplier for this specific product. So nana na sila marag somehow third party nga platform where they communicate with each other kung unsa ang ilang mga needs siguro for this month or unsa pinaka kailangan nila i-restock. So dira no ni sulod sa supply chain management. And of course, we have the finance and insurance. Many e-commerce platforms integrate directly with financial service providers, enabling customers to apply for instant loans, purchase digital insurance, or pay installments without lengthy paperwork. So this is very common today, di ba? If you have heard about money lending software or applications, kanang dili na bitaw siya hassle kung mag-loan ka. Isa sa example is kanang sa GCash. Pwede ka makaloan sa GCash, sa PayMaya, or if you have heard of kanang one hand daw lang katapos ang advertisement bisag asa ra mo gawas. Always be careful kung mag-apply mo or mag-involve or mag-engage mo ani nga mga platforms. It's very important na i-check gid ninyo ang credibility or kanabit ang i-review ninyo ang iyahang mga policy kay basin ipasakay ra ka ba nga barato ra ang interest pero times 10 di ay ang interest. So always be careful about it. Number 4 is the transaction processing. So I think I don't need to elaborate this one kay Mark na hisgutan naman nato ni siya last meeting, no, but just a review. Ordering, payment, delivery are often handled through secure automated systems para ma-reduce ang manual errors. Example, if you have an option to pick a payment method na mogamit og real time mo, reflect siya real time. So kato imong pilion para dili kayo siya kulba sa imong partner. Okay, makita na ko nabayad na ko kaysa sa atong 24 hours pa sa mo reflect. So number 5 is the after sale service. E-commerce is not only about making a sale. It also covers the post-purchase experience. So mura siya katong customer support, katong gihisgotan pod last meeting no nga. Customers can request product repairs, submit warranty claims, or schedule maintenance through online service portal. Ang concern ani is taking care of your customers after they purchase a specific product or service from your company. So it's very important na sila gid ang mag-suit or maging suitable sa needs sa ilahang customers. Number 6 is collaborative development. Some business use e-commerce platforms to work jointly with partners or customers in developing new products. Okay, so ginagamit ani sa uban is crowdsourcing or magpa-survey sila. For instance, to allow buyers to contribute design ideas or vote on prototypes. So these prototypes is kanabitong somehow helpful in their part as a business owner para sila sa pulso sa masa. Ma-improve pa nila before actually launching their products. So, di ba, if naka-launch na ka nga product, dili ganahan ang imong target user or na sila gusto i-use. So, at least, maka-adjust pa ka. Number seven is remote collaboration. When we say remote collaboration is cloud-based lang platforms which allows team in different parts of the world to work together in real time on projects, product launches, and service delivery. So, example aning application is kato sa Google Docs na pwede mo simultaneously maka-edit or Zoom meeting na maka-interact mo real time, and then at the same time suggest ka og mga inputs or ideas sa inyong company. Number eight is public and private services. Government, hospitals, and educational institutions also use e-commerce style platform to offer services such as permit applications, telemedicine, and online learning. Most of the public and private services today are kanang reliant na gid sila sa online. Mga paperworks kay ano na lang, digital na siya, dili nakakailangan pa mag-submit physically. Number nine is international trade facilitation. Digital systems simplify global commerce by automating customs paperwork, tax declaration, and compliance check. International trade facilitation. The digital system simplify global commerce by automating, so streamline lang gihapon nila ang customs paperwork, tax declarations, and compliance checks. Number 10, logistics. So we've already talked about this no as a review na lang. E-commerce platforms integrate with their courier systems to track shipments real time, optimize delivery routes, and manage inventory more effectively. So sa logistics po na, if we will look at these platforms nga itong ginagamit karon such as Shopee and TikTok Shop, makita jud nato. Hindi siya technically real time gud kaayo, pero at least makita nimo nga okay, as of this week, kay naa na diri akong order, and then anticipate nimo nga kani nga day dapat ma-deliver siya. So, that is logistics, no? Number 11 is public procurement. Many government agencies now publish tenders online, allowing suppliers to bid digitally. This increases transparency and competition. Our mga government agencies today, kay gina-practice na gyud nila ning public procurement para makita gyud or publicly makabid ang mga suppliers sa ila digitally so that they don't have to meet actual face-to-face. And of course, this promotes transparency ang specific nga price. So we have 12, digital goods trading. Products such as ebooks, software, licenses, and online courses can be sold and delivered instantly without physical shipping. Accounting integration. Sales data can be directed linked to accounting software automatically para maka-generate og invoice, and then ma-record na po siya automatically sa imong financial records. And lastly, we have the dispute resolution, where buyers and sellers can resolve issues online through mediation systems, often without needing to go to court. Say, for example, you have ordered a gadget from an online platform, and then nag-malfunction siya out of nowhere. Niya, covered pa siya sa imong 1 month nga ng warranty. So, pwede nimo siya i-return sa seller, no? So, usahay, namang mga seller na dili mo-cooperate. If cooperative pud sa seller, and then imuhang evidences kay strong pud siya, no? So, pwede ra gyud din siya masabutan without going to court. So, muna siya ang dispute resolutions. So, this one, I believe this is self-explanatory naman, It's just 11 lang kabuok. And then, sa disadvantage, kana nga part. And of data, e-commerce models. Okay, let's proceed to the e-commerce models. So, there are a lot of e-commerce models, but we will be focusing on just 7. Okay, while many associate e-commerce strictly with websites, it actually predates the modern internet. In fact, businesses were exchanging goods and information electronically as far back as 1970s using the EDI, or the electronic data interchange, over value-added networks, where e-commerce can take different forms depending on the relationship between the parties involved. So we have here 7 common models that are being used today. So we have the B2B, the B2C, the C2B, B2E, C2C, B2G, and of course, the G2G. Unsay pasabot ana nila. Okay, let's start with business to business model. So, business to business model involves transactions between companies such as manufacturer selling to a wholesaler or a wholesaler supplying a retailer. In earlier decades, these exchanges required a dedicated EDI link. Today, most happen over the internet na lang. So, simple ra kayo ang concept si B2B. The very clear example or the most simple visualization of how we will be describing this business to business relationship is ikaw as a tailor or manahiay, ikaw ang gina-offer biya ni mga service is mag-provide og mga uniforms or mga gowns, casual whatsoever, no, kana gid ang imong business, imuhang gina-offer ng business. But ikaw as a business owner or a seller which offers this kind of services kay kailangan pud biya nimong raw materials. So manginhanglan or magpalit ka og raw materials from the textile and clothing company. So sila kay mo po na ilahang service nga gin-offer mag-provide og mga raw material. And then ikaw as the tailor is need mo og textile or clothings. So ikaw ug ang textile clothing nga company, ang inyong relationship is called business to business model. Okay? Since you, the seller or the tailor, offers this kind of businesses, but this textile company as well kay kanang naga-provide siya sa imuha og mga raw materials for you to sell your products or to offer your service man ang murag imagine na lang nimo no kay both of you are doing business mo nang ang inyong relationship is business to business model. Okay, very simple na jud ang iyang concept. So let's proceed to business to consumer. Okay, this one pod class, it's very kung simple na tong isa, mas simple na pod ni siya. Say for example, we have the company which is the seller and then the buyer is the individual consumer. Example, magpalit ka, for example, grocery. Nagpalit ka grocery sa Save More. So, ang inyong business model or relationship is business to consumer. Since ikaw man, as an individual consumer, nag-purchase og item sa kaninga company or kanang store. Okay, more na siya ang concept ni business to consumer. Okay, si consumer to business is less common. Less common siya nga model, but let's look at it. So, the consumer initiates the transaction. A customer posts a project or product requirement, often with a set budget, and business submits the bids. So, murag atong makita ni or pinakanindot nga example ani is freelancing. Di ba if you are familiar with freelancing, natay mga platform sa freelancing na daghay naga-post didto or nasa lagi na post nga services like mubuhat ko og cover photo sa mga libro or cover design sa mga books. So kana nakita na niya tanan didto kung kinsay pinakabarato. So client muna siya ang mupili kung kinsay ang ganahan didto So more siya nga nang iyang concept. Okay, how about business to employee? So, business to employee uses an internal network to deliver products, services, or an information to employees. It often automates HR and administrative processes. Example are online insurance management, company announcements, ordering office supplies, exclusive employee discounts. So, kani siya somehow kay mura ni siya og sa procurement bitaw inside lang sa company. So say for example si CSU na siya gi-invite nga kanang insurance company nga mag-offer silang services diri sa mga employees. So para makakuha sila clients as well. So kato siya ang specific nga company ang gi-invite kay kato ang ilang mas prefer. So mo to siya no ang business to employee somehow automates the HR and administrative processes para dili na bitaw hassle nga si HR pa ang magmanumano og enroll sa mga employee. So mag-invite na lang sila og HMO service baka ha or mga medical nga mga services. So how about consumer to consumer? So si consumer to consumer are direct exchange between individuals. So sa una, if nakaapas pa mo aning barter exchange, mag-exchange sila sa item or through monetary siguro, monetary or ang item na gid siya mismo. So, depende sa sabot nilang duha. So, sa unang pinakauso is kaning si eBay, if nakadungog na mo eBay, dira ay usually naga-exchange og kanang products or items ang mga consumers. And then, andun pa siya, nag-start 1995. So, usually, ang ginagamit nila nga mode of payment kay PayPal. Sunod, we have the business to government. This model connects companies with government departments through official websites. It gives citizens policies, rules, and services without having to visit offices in person. Saving time for both public government and government employees. Smart city initiatives often uses this approach. So akong nabalaan ani is katong AgriBoost nga program. The idea is si farmer, dili na niya kailangan pa physically i-dispose ang iyang product sa mga tao. So dito na lang sa AgriBoost nga app, mura ra gyapon siya Shopee ba kay makita ra gyapon nila dito ang mga gulay or mga prutas. So mo-order sila, so usa pa nila i-deliver. So, muna siya, dili na kailangan face-to-face ang transaction. Si government to government describes transaction between different governments. Example, Philippines purchases oil from Arabian government. That exchange falls under government to government. Okay, so self-explanatory na siya, dali siya masabtan. Okay, let's compare business to business and business to consumer. Okay, while B2B or business to business and business to consumer are the most widely used e-commerce models, naa sila yung mga differences in some ways. So example, sa B2B, si customer serves other businesses. While B2C or the business to consumer serves individual consumers. Moto kong example kagaina nga. If B2B siya, both of you are doing business, pero naga-supply lang ka or nagakuha lang ka sila og something, raw materials baka ha, for you to provide your product or your business or your service. Moto siya, if manahiay ka, you need a raw material jud na mga clothing, textile, mga tela sa company nga naga-offer ay nagabaligya pod ana. So muna siyang business to business because both of you are doing business. So, nag-serve siya sa other business pod or other business needs. While si B2C or business to consumer serves individual consumers. So, ikaw, if mag-grocery ka sa Save More, that is B2C, business to consumer, individual. Individually, ikaw ang naserbisyohan or na-providean sa product nga imong need from the market. Sunod is complexity of B2B transactions are generally more complex and require stronger security. Since both of them are businessmen, no? So, naging na sila yung same or naging na sila individual protocols kung unsa man dapat di ay ang pamaagi sa pag-receive o pagkuha sa ilahang raw materials or items. And si B2B pod kay more on kanabitang nagadeal sila often with price discussions, delivery terms, and product specifications, di ba? Since usahay, di ba pagbultuhan kuhaan ang product or item, kailangan usahay biya kay mo ano basin mas less ang imuhang magasto if daghan imo. And then dapat ma-deliver siya ning time kay kailangan na namo siya kailangan na mo ang product ani nga date or time since mag-deliver pa pud mi or napapud mi mga buhaton. So, yana siya no, daghan siya yung mga involvement sa price discussions, kanang mga sabot-sabutan pa sa delivery terms and product specifications. Pero, si B2C or the business to consumer are usually fixed pricing. Hindi na makahangyo sa Save More nga makapalit ka og lata dito nga tag 35. Hindi makakaingon sa cashier na ma'am, pwede tag 32 na lang din. Diba di siya applicable. Pero sa B2B, business to business, pwede siya. So, muna siya mag-depend siya sa imong business transaction. Okay, in terms of integration, Because the business systems must often connect directly with partners' internal systems for seamless transaction. Ito ko example kagaina, kung sa SM, na sila specific na supplier for this specific product, dapat na siya direct communication ato nga business or ka-business partner niya para dili isang ang ilang transactions. Whereas B2C retailers usually don't require this level of integration. So, dili naman siya kailangan kay, of course, directly mo dito siya baliton. Hindi naman ka mag-bargain. Hindi naman ka mag-bargain, di ba? Sila. Okay, let's proceed to mobile commerce. Si mobile commerce or m-commerce is essentially just e-commerce with the added benefit of mobility. It involves carrying out commercial transactions using portable, internet-enabled devices such as smartphones, tablets, and personal digital assistants or PDA. Dili ng PDA nga yung hinahuna. PDA is personal digital assistants. The major difference from traditional e-commerce is that m-commerce allows people to buy, sell, or exchange services anytime, anywhere because of internet or wireless connectivity. So technologies like WAP or the Wireless Application Protocol, mobile optimized browsers and Bluetooth makes this transaction possible. With them, users can perform tasks such as booking tickets, transferring money through mobile banking, playing online games, streaming movies, and so on. Ang pinaka muna siya no gamit kayo siya since karon especially today um naay calamity or naay earthquake. It's very useful nung natay mga wireless applications nga magamit so that we can be kanabitang productive bisan pa og narata sa ato ang mga balay or narata sa atong office or dili ta makita face to face. We can still be productive because of this wireless application protocols. So here are the scope of m-commerce. Muni siya ang mga scope niya. So I will leave this as a kanang reading material sa inyo no kaning mga scope ni m-commerce, ang benefits niya, ug unsay iyang mga limitations. So kindly review this one and then dito sa m-commerce business model. So we have four: the payment model, the advertiser model, shopping model, and the content provider model. So unsa ni siya si payment model? So this refers to the payment systems integrated with banks, credit cards, or telecommunication operators, enabling secure and cashless transactions. So karon, we can purchase or pay our bills online na dili na ta kailangan pa mohatag og physical na cash. So that's very convenient no, especially diri sa bayan kay lisod kay mga itaog petrobanan og cash. Thanks to this cashless na mga platforms na pwede ka makapay, mas dali ka lang ato ang kuan mga transaction. So, dahil siyang pinaka-common na ginagamit ito karon kay Gcash yun, Maya or PayMaya. And PayPal. So, I don't know if hindi ko tayo common ng PayPal din sa ito, pero this is an example. So, si advertiser model, these are mobile-friendly websites and apps that generate revenue from ads displayed to users, often alongside free services. I believe kani siya is more on the kanang mga advertisement nga mga modes or mga models. Pero dili kay nato siya ma-appreciate no kay dili man ta kaayo naga-engage good or mag-advertise og something. I don't know if naka-try na mo maka-advertise or maka-receive ani nga or kani nga trabaho gyud. Pero somehow the idea is na ay mga platforms nga ready na para ma-generate ang revenue nimo if magpa-display kag ads or kanang magpabuhat kag contents. Number three is shopping model. Retailers with mobile optimized platforms or apps that allow customers to browse, select, and pay for products on their phones. So common, monoton kita hisgutan nato ang mga e-commerce platforms natong ginagamit. So that's just it. Shopping models. And next is the content provider model, subscription or pay-per-use services for digital content like video, games, music, and news. So, example, ani kay Netflix, Spotify, and so on. So, muna sila ang mga content provider models nga itong gina-enjoy today. Kani siya, e-commerce and m-commerce applications no? Ako na po din ibilin sa inyo ha, as a reading material. I-review ninyo ni kani mga applications and platforms nga e-commerce. I believe self-explanatory naman siya. Madali naman siya masabtan kung basahon lang ninyo. So kindly review these things, e-commerce applications, m-commerce applications, and this, ang threats to e-commerce and m-commerce. Muna na siya. Operational threats and market and regulatory threats. Okay, we have also the strategies for success in e-commerce and m-commerce. Okay, direct ko sa those things na kung gipang skip are just self-explanatory. Kindly read that and review at the same time para maka-answer mo sa quiz. So, here are the key areas for here are the key areas for long-term success. We have 7. So, number 1 is prioritize security and privacy. So, being a kanang naani nga industry, in the business industry, it is always important na number 1 gud na imong priority kay ang security and privacy sa imong customers, sa imong consumers. Use encryption, multi-factor authentication, and regular audits. AI tools can also help detect fraud in real time. So, if you will be engaging or kanang gusto nimo maging developer in the future, number 1 gud nimo na priority no. Wala nawala ko kon. Wait lang guys. So if you want to pursue this, if you like to pursue this area no, it is very important that your top priority will be security and privacy. Because in this kay ma-establish gid mo ang trust and confidence sa imong client na mobalik gid sila sa imo kanang dili bitaw sila ma-discourage because of these negative experiences labi na ni security and privacy no kay once di ba na-learn na to last meeting pod ang katong mga cyber threats or mga cyber crimes na pwede na to ma-experience. So it's very important nga na mogamit yun ka if you will be the developer or the owner. Use encryption, multi-factor authentication, and conduct regular audits para sa imong mga customers. Number 2 is improve the user experience. There's a saying na there's no perfect system. So it is important that you listen to your consumers or your customers, especially if ang ilang reklamo kay kanang sa interface or sa graphical user interface sa imong system. Ensure that the platform is mobile friendly. Na nang dali ra siya sabton, dali ra siya i-navigate, na nang dili na bitaw ka mag-isip kung ikaw ang user, di na ka maghuna-huna ba asa ko sunod so, dapat isip mo offers multiple secure options. Payment options, rather, secure payment options. Like if gusto kang cashless, over the counter, or bank transfer. So, consider all of these things para sa customer ko kay kung sa convenience sa iyaha, at least provide mo. So, mas more pa nang mas magamit siya sa mga system since kanang tinatagal mo siya dagan. Number 3 is personalized customer engagement. Use purchase data to offer tailored product recommendations and loyalty perks. So, if you have a customer nga halos 10 years na no, gabalik-balik sa inyo or 5 years na or 2 years na grabe ka loyal sa inyong product, kanang tagay siya og mga loyalty perks or mga discounts, kanang mga discounts gyud nga makakuan gyud siya makawaw. Number 4 is strengthen logistics and fulfillments. So invest in reliable couriers, automated inventory, and real-time tracking. So these are the things na akong gina-istorya sa inyo last time, di ba? If you have the option to choose real-time nga tracking, kato ang ihatag or kato ang i-provide sa mga consumers. And of course, mag-invest. So when we say invest, may tag-invest kay mahal gyud siguro. Kung may tag kanang mopili tag reliable na couriers. No kay um problema ani if dili reliable ang couriers, affected ang imuhang sales, affected ang imuhang consumers or customers. So kung maka-experience na sila bad nga panghitabo, di na magud na sila mobalik. So maximize marketing's reach, combine SEO, social media ads, and influencer partnerships and interactive campaigns. Number 6, keep innovating. Test emerging tech like AR, AI chatbots, or blockchain solutions. Number 7 is stay compliant. Remain updated on laws like GDPR and maintain transparent policies on returns and disputes. So, as a summary, this chapter reviewed how e-commerce and m-commerce have deployed their scope, advantages and disadvantages, operational models, applications, threats, and strategies for long-term success. I'll provide a link sa inyo ha para sa inyong short summative quiz gihapon siya. So I will give you time to review this material. So that's it for our sixth topic for IS 101 or the fundamentals of information systems. If you have questions, don't forget or don't be kanang hesitant to reach out sa to ang group chat sa tong official GC. And I hope everyone's safe out there. Thank you so much. See you when I see you. Bye.